Reading through the Bible in 1 year, June 8th, Deuteronomy chapter 12, Psalms 97 through 98, Isaiah 40, and Revelation chapter 10. These are the statutes and judgments which These are the statutes and the judgments which you shall be careful to do in the land which Yahweh, the God of your fathers, has given you to possess all the days you live on the earth. You shall utterly destroy all the places where the nations whom you shall dispossess serve their gods, on the high mountains and on the hills and under every green tree. And you shall tear down their altars, and shatter their sacred pillars, and burn their Asherim with fire. And you shall cut the graven images of their gods in pieces, and destroy their name from that place. You shall not do thus toward Yahweh your God, but you shall seek Yahweh at the place which Yahweh your God will choose from all your tribes, to establish his name there for his dwelling, and there you shall come. And there you shall bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, the contribution from your hand, your votive offerings, and your freewill offerings, and the firstborn of your herd and of your flock. There also you and your household shall eat before Yahweh your God, and be glad in all that you send forth your hand to do, in which Yahweh your God has blessed you. You shall not do at all what we are doing here today, every man doing whatever is right in his own eyes. For you have not as yet come to the resting place in the inheritance which Yahweh your God is giving you. Now, you will cross the Jordan and live in the land which Yahweh your God is giving you to inherit. And he will give you rest from all your enemies around you, so that you live in security. Then it will be that the place in which Yahweh your God will choose for his name to dwell, there you shall bring all that I am commanding you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and the contribution of your hand, and all your choice votive offerings, which you will vow to Yahweh. And you shall be glad before Yahweh your God, you and your sons and your daughters, your male and female slaves, and the Levite who is within your gates, since he has no portion or inheritance among you. Beware, lest you offer your burnt offerings in every cultic place you see, but in the place which Yahweh chooses in one of your tribes, there you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I am commanding you. However, you may sacrifice and eat meat within any of your gates, whatever you desire, according to the blessing of Yahweh your God which he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as of the gazelle and the deer. Only you shall not eat the blood. You are to pour it out on the ground like water. You are not allowed to eat within your gates the tithe of your grain or new wine or oil, or the firstborn of your herd or flock, or any of your votive offerings which you vow, or your freewill offerings, or the contribution of your hand. But you shall eat them before Yahweh your God, in the place which Yahweh your God will choose, you and your son and daughter, and your male and female slaves, and the Levite who is within your gates. And you shall be glad before Yahweh your God in all that you send forth your hand to do. Verse 19, beware lest you forsake the Levite all your days upon your land, when Yahweh your God enlarges your territory, as he has promised you. And you say, I will eat meat, because you desire to eat meat. Then you... Words are hard today. We can do this. Verse 20, starting over. When Yahweh your God enlarges your territory as he promised you, and you say, I will eat meat, because you desire to eat meat, then you may eat meat, whatever you desire. If the place where Yahweh your God chooses to set his name is too far away from you, well, then you may sacrifice of your herd and flock, which Yahweh has given you, as I have commanded you, and you may eat within your gates whatever you desire. Just as a gazelle or a deer is eaten, so you will eat it. The unclean and the clean alike may eat of it. Only be strong in yourselves not to eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the flesh. You shall not eat it. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. You shall not eat it, so that it may be well with you and your sons after you. For you will be doing what is right in the eyes or the sight of Yahweh. Only your holy things, which you may have in your votive offerings, you shall take and go to the place which Yahweh chooses. And you shall offer your burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, on the altar of Yahweh your God. And the blood of your sacrifices shall be poured out on the altar of Yahweh your God, and you shall eat the flesh. Be careful to listen to all these words which I command you, so that it may be well with you and your sons after you forever. For you will be doing what is good and right in the sight of Yahweh your God, when Yahweh your God cuts off before you the nations which you are going in to dispossess, and you dispossess them and inhabit their land. Beware lest you be ensnared to follow them, and after they are destroyed before you, and lest you inquire after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods, that I also may do likewise? You shall not do thus toward Yahweh your God, for every abominable act which Yahweh hates they have done for their gods, for they even burn their sons and daughters in the fire to their gods. Whatever I am commanding you, you shall be careful to do. You shall not add to it, nor take away from it. Now Psalms 97 through 98. Yahweh reigns. Let all the earth rejoice. Let the many coastlands be glad. Clouds and thick darkness are all around him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire goes before him and burns up his adversaries all around. His lightnings light up the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax at the presence of Yahweh, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the peoples see his glory. Let all those be ashamed who serve graven images, who boast of idols. Worship him, all you gods. Zion hears this and was glad. Starting over, Zion heard this and was glad. And the daughters of Judah have rejoiced because of your judgments, O Yahweh. For you are Yahweh, most high over all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. You hate, starting over, hate evil, you who love Yahweh, who keeps the souls of his holy ones. He delivers them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Be glad in Yahweh, you righteous ones, and give thanks for the remembrance of his holy name. Psalm 98. Sing to Yahweh a new song, for he has done wondrous deeds. His right hand and his holy arm have worked out his salvation. Yahweh has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in the eyes of the nations. He has remembered his loving kindness and his and his faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a loud shout to Yahweh, all the earth. Break forth and sing for joy and sing praises. Sing praises to Yahweh with the lyre and the sound of singing, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a loud shout before King Yahweh. Let the sea roar, as well as all its fullness, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the mountains sing together for joy before Yahweh, for he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness, and the peoples with equity. Making sure that's all the notes for you, and it is. Now Isaiah chapter 40. Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God. Speak to the heart of... Okay, want to make sure we didn't lose notes. Speak to thought... Again, one of these days, just hard to speak. We can do this. Verse 1, we're starting over. Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God. Speak to the heart of Jerusalem and call out to her that her warfare has been fulfilled, that her iniquity has been removed, that she has received from the hand of Yahweh double for all her sins. A voice is calling. Prepare the way for Yahweh in the wilderness. Make smooth in the desert a highway for our God. Let every valley be lifted up, and every mountain and hill be made low. Let the rough ground become a plain, and the rugged terrain a broad valley. Then the glory of Yahweh will be revealed, and all flesh will see it together, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken. A voice says, call out. Then he answered, what shall I call out? All flesh is grass, and all its loving kindness is like the flower of a field. The grass withers, the flower fades, when the breath of Yahweh blows upon it. Surely the people are grass. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God stands forever. Get yourself up on a high mountain, O Zion, bearer of good news. Raise up your voice powerfully, O Jerusalem, bearer of good news. Raise it up, do not fear. Say to the cities of Judah, behold your God. Behold, Lord Yahweh will come with strength, with his arm ruling for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. Like a shepherd, he will shepherd his flock, and in his arm he will gather the lambs, and carry them in his bosom. He will gently lead the nursing ewes. Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and encompassed the heavens by the span, and calculated the dust of the earth by the measure, and weighed the mountains in a balance, in the hills in a pair of scales? Who has encompassed the Spirit of Yahweh, or as his counselor has informed him? With whom did he take counsel, and who gave him understanding? And who taught him in the path of justice, and taught him knowledge, and made him know the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are like a drop from a bucket, and are counted as a speck of dust on the scales. Behold, he lifts up the coastlands like fine dust. Even Lebanon is not enough to burn, nor its beasts enough for a burnt offering. All the nations are as nothing before him. They are counted by him as non-existent and utterly formless. To whom then will you liken God? Or what likeness will you compare with him? As for the graven images, a craftsman casts it, a goldsmith plates it with gold, and a silversmith fashions chains of silver. He who is too impoverished to make such a contribution chooses a tree that does not rot, and seeks out for himself a wise craftsman to prepare a graven image that will not be shaken. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been declared to you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who inhabits above the circle or sphere, same term, of the earth. And its inhabitants are like grasshoppers. It is he who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to inhabit. It is he who reduces rulers to nothing, who makes the judges of the earth utterly formless. Scarcely have they been planted, scarcely have they been sown, scarcely has their stem taken root in the earth, but he merely blows on them, and they wither, and the storm carries them away like stubble. To whom then will you liken me, that I would be his equal? Says the Holy One. Lift up your eyes on high, and see who has created these stars. The one who leads forth their host by number, he calls them all by name, because of the greatness of his vigor and the strength of his power. Not one of them is missing. Why do you say, O Jacob, and assert, O Israel, my way is hidden from Yahweh, and the justice due me passes by my God? Do you not know? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weary, and to him who lacks vigor, he increases might. Though youths grow weary and tired, and choice young men stumble badly, yet those who hope in Yahweh will gain new power. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be tired. Rather, they will run and not get tired. And they will walk and not become weary. Now, Revelation chapter 10. Once again, we are in a very prophetic book. So if you have questions, concerns, that's why all the notes are available for you here. Let's go. Then I saw another strong angel coming down out of heaven, clothed with a cloud, and the rainbow was upon his head, and his face was like the sun, and his feet like pillars of fire. And he had in his hands a little scroll which was open. And he placed his right foot on the sea and his left on the earth, saying that he has authority over both. Verse 3, and he cried out with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. And when he had cried out, the 7 peals of thunder uttered their voices. And when the 7 peals of thunder had spoken, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven, saying, seal up the things which the 7 peals of thunder have spoken, and do not write them. Then the angel, whom I saw standing on the sea and the earth, lifted up his right hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever and ever, quote, who created heaven and the things in it, and the earth and the things in it, and the sea and the things in it, that there will be delay no longer. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he is about to sound, then the mystery of God is finished, as he proclaimed good news to his slaves, the prophets. When the voice which I heard from heaven, then the voice which I heard from heaven, I heard again speaking with me, and saying, go, take the scroll which is open in the hand of the angel who stands on the sea and on the earth. So I went to the angel, telling him to give me the little scroll, and he said to me, take it and eat it. It will make your stomach bitter, but in your mouth it will be as sweet as honey. And I took the little scroll out of the angel's hand, and I ate it. And in my mouth it was sweet as honey, and when I had eaten it, my stomach was made bitter. And they said to me, you must prophesy again about many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. And that is it for today. That's all the notes, and that is all of the text. So, God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Behold, the word of the Lord.